Hello guys, this is Wunderbit Trading and we're carrying on with our weekly Bitcoin and Ethereum price analysis. However, we're going to do this in a slightly new format. So our stream is going to be divided into three main parts. Number one, we're going to do the analysis of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Number two, we will look at some ideas which are circulating around the crypto network. And number three, we're going to show you one actual position in which we're currently in terms of the trading. So let's start with the Bitcoin and Ethereum price analysis and switch to our graphs. In front of you, you can see the Bitcoin price against the dollar on the Binance exchange, and this is the weekly chart, which we usually start our analysis from. The previous week was actually very good in terms of growth of the Bitcoin price. However, what we can actually see right now is some kind of a double top formation. So this was the first top on a weekly chart, and it seems like we're currently forming the second top. This is a very similar pattern to what we actually saw on a daily chart a couple of days ago. Well, actually a couple of weeks ago right now. And if it is like that, going back to the weekly, we can state that then there is a certain retracement from the overall upward movement. And if we draw the Fibonacci retracement tool, we can see that again the nearest point will be our 10,000 level support, and then the next one is going to be around 8,500. And this is this time what we actually expect. And again, we haven't closed this gap of BTC futures, which we drew quite a while ago. So we're actually expecting to close this one, go towards the balance line of the alligator, and this will be around 8,500. If we go to the daily chart, what we can see here is that we actually broke up above the downward channel. However, now we don't see any large movement in terms of supporting the idea that the price is going to still go up even further. So if we zoom in on this particular chart, we're currently at this decision point when we saw the breakout from the channel, now retest the channel, and if we will be able to hold the price at this level and go up and break the strong resistance level of around 11,800, then we can state that the price is going for the second large top, for example. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. We'll see what's happening here on the local graphs, and on the locals we can clearly see that the price moved below the alligator. Now it's consolidating over here. We have a sell fractal actually below the 11,125. So if the price is going to move below this line, let me put it here on the graph. If the price is going to go below that, we're back in a downward channel, and this breakout was a fake one. So we'll keep that in mind, and we're going to carry on looking at the volume levels as well, because this will be a very good indicator to actually suggest whether we going back into the downward channel or we're gonna still go up to the new higher high. Let's look at the Ethereum right now, and based on the Ethereum chart, we'll start from the weekly again. We don't see that much is happening over there. So let me zoom in on the chart. And the past 4 weeks, we're actually in a horizontal consolidation channel. So not much is happening based on the weekly graphs. If we switch to the daily, you can see this flat channel even better right now. So we go in between the $200 and $230. The price is moving in a horizontal channel between those two parameters. So not actually much going on in terms of the Ethereum price. What we should expect is that if the price is actually going towards this trend line, which we drew a couple of weeks ago, if we touch that, and then there's going to be another resistance point at that moment, and the price can actually go up towards 230. If we break that, next one is 270. So we'll see if that is actually one of the options which can happen. That's it with the Bitcoin and Ethereum price analysis. So let's switch to the second part of our stream, and this time we're gonna look at one of the graphs and indicators which was created by Willy Woo. Willy Woo is an on-chain analyst, and he is actually very good in terms of producing a nice technical analysis and not very straightforward one. So he's looking at opportunities that the market will deliver and try to make sense out of them. So what we actually go and look at is his difficulty ribbon. And what's that? Is the price of Bitcoin, which is this blue line, and over here this red ribbon consists of several moving averages. And those moving averages actually showing you the difficulty of mining Bitcoin. So the chart starts from 2011 until the current date. And the main idea is when this ribbon is actually getting apart, so it's extending and becomes wider, this is the period when mining is becoming more and more difficult and the difficulty is rising, and we are in the very strong upward move. When we see a contraction, this is the point at which the small miners actually leave in the market. Because if you think about this, what miners should do is, as soon as they mine something, some portion of that Bitcoin should be sold on the market so they can keep up with their operation costs. So as soon as more Bitcoin is sold on the market, the price of Bitcoin is actually going to go down. And this is what usually happens in the bearish market. So if you can see here, the price is going down, and after some time the ribbon is start to converge, so it becomes a very, very narrow thin line. And what does it tell us is that some of the miners are going out of the market completely, so they just stop mining and they're either keeping what they have or they're actually selling their Bitcoin. And at this point the difficulty is going in a stagnation mode, so it doesn't increase that heavily. And based on that graph, this is actually the best moment to invest in Bitcoin. Not just buy it for some short-term manipulation, but actually to invest in a long-term perspective. So let's look at the graph now. You can see that in 2012 there was this scenario where the ribbon was actually intertwined, and this was a very good price to invest in Bitcoin, because after a couple of years it increased dramatically. Then we saw another bearish market from 2013 and 14 up to 2015, and this is exactly where the ribbon again starts to contract and there's a stagnation moment in there. So this was another good opportunity where the investors could have invest in Bitcoin and hold it up to 2017-18. We just finished another bearish market, and in our case this was exactly the point when you could have invest into Bitcoin. So let's just zoom in on that particular part, and we can see here that from January 2019 the ribbon was intertwined and it contracted quite a lot. So at this point the difficulty of mining Bitcoin was not growing because some of the miners were out of the market, and that's the main idea, that the major miners were still able and capable of mining due to their economies of scale, rather than the small miners actually were kicked out of the market based on the price that we saw in December and January. Now, as the price increases, you can see that those moving averages are actually expanding and they're getting apart. So this is the idea that, again, mining is quite profitable at this particular moment, and those miners who probably shut their mining rigs down over here or just paused them, they are back in the business right now. So this is the Bitcoin difficulty ribbon by Willy Woo. And now the final part of our stream is our own position, and this time I'm going to show you the Cardano USDT. So let's look at the graph of Cardano and USDT. What we saw here was actually a very interesting scenario, that the price of Cardano was going down after the breakout from that triangle, and we were able to determine the nearest strong support level, which is highlighted here in blue. And then the green is the target zone where we usually determine the price will land. So somewhere in this target zone we prefer to go into the position. And we took the middle point because this is also the good support level. So we were in the position at around 0.04 cents, and on the hourly chart you can see that there was two turning points, and this is our own indicator which highlighted here in blue. So this is the one which shows the turning point of the price. When the price, if it goes down, it will start at least a short retracement up, and vice versa. So this is the entry point, and now the price is actually above here. We saw on the hourly the slight divergence between the price and the AO indicator, which means that the price should go down, at least in a short moment. However, what was good on the 4-hour time frame, this formed a fractal to buy it. So if the price is going to be above 0.056, we'll add funds to this position in particular, and we'll be looking to get the profits around 0.06 cents. Now what we can draw to determine whether the price is actually in a slight correction or it will actually carry on going down is the Fibonacci retracement tool. So we're currently at the level of 0.38, which is a very good level if the price can stop here and carry on going up. So this is a very good level, suggesting that the trend is very healthy, the upward trend. Still, we can wait until the price even reach 0.6, so we'll still be in profit based on the entry point. Will be almost 3% in profit. If the price is going to break below 0.61, we'll close the position in a slight profit. If the price is going to go up and will go above that green line, we would be able to add additional funds to our position and then drag the stop loss towards this area of 0.38. So it will depend, our action will completely depend on whether the price is going up or down, and if you are in any positions of any kind, you should all the time monitor the market very, very accurately. So that was it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to our Telegram channel if you would like to receive the daily updates on the Bitcoin and Ethereum, and stay tuned to our channel.